Thank you, Minato. And good luck.
I'll be right back.
Minato has got to be my favorite Naruto character and is up there for my top favorite anime character in general. I've always seen him as a badass who's very powerful within his own verse, but also has a very solid personality. This isn't a character analysis, as I suck at those kinds of things, so I'm not really going to go further on that point. I also want to make this video because of that popularity poll going on right now where you can vote for a Naruto character to have their own spin-off manga, and I voted for Minato myself, so I thought I'd make this video. There's already dozens upon dozens of videos about Minato on YouTube, whether it be through versus battles or character analysis or how strong is through a lot of YouTubers do this. I myself even making a video with Minato in it a while back on my first attempt at scaling, so it's safe to say that you'll probably have heard everything I say in this video from the plethora of other YouTubers and, again, even myself, if you've seen my Minato vs. Achilles video. Although I have learned new things and have changed my opinion on a few things. So without further ado, let's get started. Considering Minato is seen as a speedster, let's talk about his speed first. Speed within Naruto has always been fairly controversial, but most people agreeing with the verse being above hypersonic, as you have the classic Kakashi statement and anime showing of him running up a hill while chakra deprived, then cutting a lightning bolt in half when he was younger. You also blatantly have characters that scale relative to, below, or above Kakashi reacting to these lightning speed attacks. There's also a couple databook statements that either say some things are light speed or can be translated as light speed, like with Haku, the Anbu, and Itachi, although they are contentious. Now, as most of you already know, Minato's main scaling for speed is all centered around him and the Raikage, which it's been stated in the manga and databooks that they are relative, but the Raikage admits inferiority. The main calc comes from Minato dodging the Raikage's full speed as a Jonin. Now, the calc can be taken a multitude of different ways. If you say the Raikage is lightning speed or around that level of speed, you can calc this feat to sub-relativistic plus, which is around 5 through 10 times the speed of light. Like I said before, the two remain relative throughout the series, and it's unknown exactly how much faster the Raikage has gotten since then. The other way to calc this is to say the Raikage is almost light speed because he is stated to move almost the speed of light when using the lariat. You can certainly argue the lariat isn't his fastest move, as he uses it when matching B as they have to sync up. And we've seen before that when A gets serious, he blows back B, who can previously beat him in a lariat off. Also, when we see Minato dodge the Raikage, he's not using the lariat. And if you use this almost light speed statement, it has been calced to around 25 times FTL in reaction speed, with an even higher calc saying anywhere from 19 to 50 times FTL, which is all dependent on if you think the Raikage is almost light speed, which 50% is usually what's agreed upon, or if he is light speed. Later on, Minato gets KCM, and is relative to KCM2 Naruto, and also likely Bijou Sage Naruto. Hell, you can even argue Minato in base is either relative or above KCM1 Naruto, or relative to KCM2 Naruto, depending on how you view certain things. Now, me personally, I only see Minato as being in that FTL category, which is anywhere from 1 through 10 times the speed of light, and on an absolute highball being around 50 times. Although I do see the reasoning behind the higher end scaling, I personally can't get behind it. This could also just purely be attributed to his reaction speed, as he may not be able to sprint at these high speeds, but react to these high speeds. Minato's biggest advantage in any fight is that if he can recognize the speed, he can teleport using his Flying Thunder God. So while he may not be able to jump back and move out of the way from someone who's too fast, he can teleport away. The Flying Thunder God was originally made by Tobirama, the second Hokage. It's stated multiple times through practically every databook that it is a space-time ability. It says in the second databook that it is a space-time ability which isn't comparable to high-speed movement. The fourth databook saying space-time comes to a standstill and says it's a space-time ability created by Tobirama. The barrier version is even stated to open a crack in space-time to teleport attacks. There's a slightly outdated scan that says it's his original ability, which is a space-time ability still, and there's even a statement which says it transcends space-time in multiple translations. I'm sure most viewers will already know this, but it's just an ability that makes a hole in space-time essentially and allows Minato to teleport wherever there is a marker. These markers not disappearing even after he dies, as we've seen with Obito. This, coupled with Minato's sensory abilities and intelligence, makes him a huge threat to face in battle, as he's even fought and defeated 1,000 shinobi and shook Inoki in an anime episode. His sensory skills can be directly compared to Tobirama, as he also senses what's going on in the war, and can even put his finger on the ground and sense his immediate surroundings, and know how many people are in an area. He's praised by beings who've lived dozens to hundreds of years more than him, and is even praised by the other Hokage. He's stated in the Itachi novels to have the highest score in the Chunin exams, with Itachi coming in second. He's deduced how jutsu like the Chidori work after seeing it once and know all of its flaws. He's deduced how the truth-seeking orbs worked after seeing them only a couple times, and only had to see Kamui about 3 times before he understood how it worked and knew how to counter it. And Jiraiya think he's a prodigy among prodigies and couldn't be surpassed. Even Hiruzen, who's stronger than Tobirama and relative to Orochimaru while also being above the 5 Kage in his time, admits inferiority to Minato, whether it's during the Nine-Tails attack, when he was saying to wait for Minato, when he wished he were there to fight Orochimaru, or when he was frightened of Orochimaru summoning him and did his best to stop it. There's even that one Storm game, which, depending on whether you think it's canon or not, that he actually beats Hiruzen in a fight, so there is that. I'll try to stay away from the inverse debates for now, but it's easy to see how crazy Minato is only after going over his speed, teleportation, and intelligence. His other abilities include things such as summoning toads like Gamabunta, the Reaper Death Seal, which sacrifices the soul of the user to seal away the soul of another, Minato using it to split the Nine-Tails, which Minato also having Uzumaki level sealing knowledge, as Kushina says herself that her clan specializes in sealing and she taught multiple seals to Minato. He's even proficient enough to basically edit seals created by the Uzumaki. He has the obvious Rasengan, which he modeled after tailed beast bombs, and he does have Sage Mode like Naruto, where he only has the pigmentation and eye change, but he's only able to keep it active for very brief periods, and takes a while to access it. Although he kinda just stands still, closes his eyes, and then he's a perfect Sage. But again, he does admit the time limit isn't worth it to him, and takes too long in his eyes to enter. Considering he's a fighter based on speed, it's pretty understandable. And those are really the more unique jutsu he possesses that most ninja don't already have, other than the fact that he possesses yin and yang chakra. Now in terms of AP, he sits well within the mountain ranges to start off, as he's above Jiraiya, who can carve mountains with his Rasengan, and is either relative, or above people who can battle Biju, which can destroy mountains with their Biju bombs, and is also relative to, if not above Hiruzen in some aspects, who's the strongest Kage of his time, meaning Minato would scale to the other Kage, who can also battle Biju like the Eight-Tails, who is above other Biju, who can casually destroy mountains. It's kind of hard to scale his AP as we don't see him physically brawl a lot of people without dominating his opponents, or being mentally nerfed like in the War Arc. As the databooks state, he was in a daze or a stupor, which Naruto had to break him out of. And it's shown throughout the series that mental amps exist. In said War Arc, as an Edo, he has KCM, which puts him relative or above KCM to Naruto, and likely relative to Biju Sage Naruto. Now, half of Kurama on his own is stated to be able to turn the world to ash. which can be interpreted as a planetary feat or a life-wiping feat, which is considered a continental feat by most. Which may be a lowball for half of Kurama. Even just a fart of his chakra can have normal shinobi survive the 10 Tails Cataclysm, which is high into continental and even possibly multi-continental. There's even the fact that half of Kurama can body these other mountain level Bijou at the same time and even contest their attacks when working together. A little short on the AP section, but it's not like nobody hasn't heard of this already. So all in all, Minato stat-wise is in the FTL to FTL plus ranges, especially with KCM and Flying Thunder God, while being in the large mountain to continental ranges, in possibly both base and with KCM in terms of attack potency, not necessarily destructive capacity. This was a pretty short video, but I really wanted to get this video out as I really like Minato, and it helps that I haven't posted a scaling video in over a month. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.